What's up, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between Hooker here, and Smursax, and today we are playing Fearless. Let's see how afraid you are.
Welcome to Fearless. I'm here to help you overcome your fears. Fearless is not a game. It's an experience based on the ideas of exposure therapy or systematic desensitization. That means we'll go gradually, at your own pace, and you'll always know what's coming next. Before we begin, I'll have you fill out a few intake questions along with your email on the TV screen. It should only take a couple of minutes.
Should I enter my email?
No, just put something in fake. Oh, put in Hooker. Put in Hooker. Hooker@.com. No, just...
Right.
Yeah. Where are you picking?
Oh, spiders. Try it for free. $4.99 for full access. Cockroaches coming soon. More fears coming soon. I guess spiders.
Yep.
Welcome to Fearless for Spiders. We're going to start really easy, and I'll help guide you through the process of gradually facing your fear. I'll always tell you what's coming next, and you'll be able to go at your own pace. Before we begin, I just want to ask how afraid you are of spiders. You can tap now and then answer on the following screen. We're going to begin with a cartoon drawing of a spider on the TV. Please tap when you're ready. Not too bad, right? Now, as we move forward, the most important thing you'll learn is that a little bit of discomfort or anxiety is good, as long as you use it to your advantage. We'll get into more detail later, but the basic idea is that when you successfully face your fears, you'll learn to overcome them, whereas when you shy away from your fears, you learn to be more afraid. Don't worry, the next step is just a big version of the same drawing. Go ahead and tap. Before we move on, let's talk a little bit about your fear of spiders. First of all, you're in good company. More than 35% of people are afraid of spiders. In fact, it's one of the most common fears. You may be afraid of getting bitten, but you also may have any number of other reasons for your fear. You may be freaked out by the way they look or move or their legginess. You may be nervous about how your mind or body will react when you see a spider. You may have had a traumatic experience, or you may have picked up the fear from your parents. You may not know exactly why you're afraid of spiders, and that's completely normal too. Next is a more realistic drawing. Go ahead and tap when you're ready. Let's say this drawing makes you a little anxious. Normally, you might react by looking away, leaving the room, concentrating on another object, or thinking about something else. Try not to do any of these things. Whenever you avoid the thing you fear, your brain never learns that it can handle the anxiety, and that the anxiety will gradually decrease if given the chance. If you feel anxious or uncomfortable at any step, try to embrace that feeling and wait for the anxiety to decrease before continuing. You don't have to go to the next level right when I finish talking. Very few species of spiders are dangerous to humans, and most spiders prefer to keep to themselves. While it may be helpful to learn that spiders are not very dangerous, usually that isn't enough to get over your fear. Generally, you need to learn from personal experience that you can be in the presence of a spider without anything bad happening. That's why we're here. Now it's time to face a real spider on the table. It's very small and will stay on the far half of the table. Ready? Go ahead and tap. This first spider will stay on the far half of the table. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's okay. Let's try to stay on this level until your discomfort decreases to a minimal level. It's important that we give your brain time to learn that it can handle and even become comfortable in this situation. Now, let's talk about some things that could prevent your brain from learning to handle the fear. A lot of people, when faced with something they fear, engage in something called safety behaviors. Safety behaviors are simply things you might do to avoid having to face your fear head-on. Let's say you encountered this spider in real life and felt anxious. What might you do? Perhaps you would move farther away from the spider or leave the room. Maybe you would kill the spider or ask someone else to kill it. In our present situation, you might lean back in your chair, or you might tell yourself that the spider is not real. If the levels get more intense, you might take the headset off and choose not to come back. All of these behaviors make you feel better in the short term, but they also rob you of the chance to get over your fear. So, as we progress through these more challenging levels, try to avoid safety behaviors. Embrace the fear. By the way, this may be the first time in a long time that you've seen a spider and not immediately tried to avoid it or kill it. That's a huge step. So, if you don't mind, I'd love to ask you just a few questions along the way. Your responses will be recorded using your built-in microphone and sent to us so we can improve the fearless experience. If you prefer not to answer, you can just tap instead of talking. Tap for the first question.
You should talk.
I'm interested to know how you felt about that spider. Did you feel uncomfortable at first? Did your discomfort decrease after some time? You can add as much detail as you'd like.
I felt it looked very realistic. This video has actually showed me that fear is the unknown, and the reason I dislike spiders is because they can be dangerous, as they mentioned in the video. And I would not leave the spider on the table. I would swat him off and kill him because he is a liability. Right? That was the question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I didn't know if there was an extra part.
But
no, I don't care. I would, if me being fearful of spiders is killing it to, even though, whatever, I'm killing it.
So what did you think about that?
Thought it was a pretty good experience.
Like, do you think that would be a cool way to get people over their fears?
I think it would be good in the medical field because it could definitely help with psychological problems such as phobias and fears. And as the one I just did with spiders, it went step by step, making it cartoonish, almost silly in a sense, to bring it more to being realistic. And then the virtual reality actually took it off of the screen and brought it closer to me on the table and showed that the spider can possibly walk around and not be harmful or unsafe. And in my opinion, I think they are unsafe, so I would have killed it, but it shows you why not to kill the spider out of fear.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. And do you actually feel less afraid of spiders now since you've experienced that, or more? Would you say it changed?
I would say I understand you should not stereotype all spiders as being dangerous, because what I just found out is they're actually a lot less dangerous than I thought. Really? I think I would still kill spiders to make sure.
Yeah.
But I think this video for the average person would actually make it less dangerous and less phobia-like for any normal person against spiders.
Wow. At any time were you afraid there? Just even seeing spiders, or what did you feel?
Anxious maybe, but it compels you to sit there with patience and watch the spider, deal with the spider, tolerate the spider, and watch him walk across the desk in front of you, back and forth, getting a little close to you, but not halfway to the inside of the desk. And it really teaches you how to tolerate something that you think is dangerous.
Awesome. Wow. Well, so for Fearless, what would you rate this experience? How did overall, for the message it was sending you and just what did you take from it?
For the uses, I thought it was a good virtual reality display, but just the fact that you're using it as a tool to stay away from phobias and to fight phobias, I'd have to give it a 5 out of 5.
You heard it from the man himself. This is Hooker.
Smursax.
Signing out. You ever seen anything like this?
No.
Where are we?
Yeah, I'm this virtual reality.
I always find myself in the most odd places.
Even man your own virtual pirate ship and battle sea monsters and enemy vessels as you hunt for treasure.
Yeah,